Hello, everyone.
Hey,
This is your host, Chubby.
and this is Angel.
Welcome to No Filters, No Fears. Oh my God. So it is episode 80. We made it. We made episode 80. It is the
Woo.
end of the year. It is the end of the year already. This is our last episode of the year. Can you believe it? I can't. I thought we had one more, though. One more. No, but it's okay because we have a whole nother 5 months to go until we make 2 years and our 100th episode. So I am
Ooh,
looking forward to that.
exciting.
Yes, yes, it is. So today's episode is episode 80, and we're going to be talking about closure and whatever that means to you. It is a level 3 elephant. As you already know, we do have a definition because we're never getting rid of that. I mean, unless you guys said so. Angel, shall we? Never.
Never.
So, closure means finality, letting go of what once was. Finding closure implies a complete acceptance of what has happened and honoring of that transition away from what finished to something new. In other words, closure describes the ability to go beyond imposed limitations in order to find different possibilities. That sounded like a whole bunch of words put together.
Yes, it does.
But in short, it just means basically getting over what just happened and finding and being at peace with what just happened and be like, okay, it happened. I accept it. I may not have like it, but I guess I have to move on and go to the next step and let whatever happened behind.
Yeah.
So to me, closure in many closure is such a big word because it could mean any type of closure, relationships, careers, business partner,
Education.
education. That is a good one. It could mean anything. But we as people, some people just we don't know how to handle that. We don't know how to handle the closure part. It is something that hits us so fast that sometimes we're like, holy crap, where did that come from? And then
Yeah.
we're just sitting there like, how do we deal? You know? And before we get into all the, more um, other questions that we posed earlier about is it necessary, should we need it, do we need it, what is closure to you? What does that look like to Angel?
Closure to me, like for example, because I know every time I hear the word closure, it's like, oh snap, relationship. So I'll start there. Whatever relationship it may be, could be a friendship, it could be a romantic relationship, business relationship, whichever it is, relationship, let's put it that way. Now, it could be that you know what, something was negative, there was negative energy, something wasn't going well, or something was just bland. Um, it's like closure at that point is looking at the person and saying we need to close a chapter. Now, the idea of closing a chapter may not mean closing a chapter as in we're done.
Right.
It's just closing a chapter of something that either was negative, that either didn't work, and now we're going to do something new along those lines. Some people get the concept of closure and it's like, oh, it was bad, it was bad, it was bad. No, it's not always bad. Sometimes it's even good. People be wanting closure for good things too. Like I know it was great, but maybe it's good, but it's something that we do not want. For example, um, two people in a relationship, person says, "Oh, that is a beautiful kitten, but I'm not ready for that right now. I don't want that. We're gonna have to give that kitten back."
Right.
See? End of that.
I mean, and you have a point there because in some relationships you may end the romantic aspect of it but still stay friends,
Yes.
or you realize you can't be friends, so you and that and you're like, we need to be more, we need to be romantic because, or sometimes you just unfortunately have to end the whole thing with the person.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, sometimes you give chances, right, for lack of a better statement, to people to either fix what's wrong, or like, you verbalize many times, this is what's going on, what can we do to fix this, because I feel like it's the elephant in the room,
Yeah.
like, it's the problem, what can we do. Sometimes they show the effort to do it and to move forward, and okay, we're going good, we're doing good, but then at the same time it's like they forgot that they just made a contract with you of like, hey, this is what we're doing to fix this, and then they just fall back into their own patterns, and then you sit there wondering, it's like, is the relationship worth anything to you for you not to try to fix the friendship, the relationship, to strengthen it, like, sometimes that's my questions, my own like thoughts and questions about certain relationships for me that have gone, to end, because I just sit there and I'm like, what happened that you didn't care enough, or didn't have the capacity enough to continue working? So then you have to say, you have to end it if it's not working. And it's not like you do not miss that person, or whatever the case is. It's just, it's not going to work the way you wanted it,
Was what? Yeah.
you know
But I mean, again, an end. Whenever we think of an end, an end to a story, it's not always a bad thing.
right,
A relationship could have ended. Y'all was toxic. Y'all wasn't good for each other. That doesn't mean you guys can't come, I see you, you see me. We become really good friends.
right,
We're still in each other's lives. I forgave you, you forgave me.
right,
Or, we were terrible business partners, or somebody wasn't managing the money right. I came to you about it. I said, we're ending this, but we could end up doing something else. When it comes to ending something, it shouldn't always be looked at as well, you were a bad person. You weren't considerate. You weren't loving. That's not what closure, like when you're ending something, always means. It can mean we can start anew, just tear this up, end this, and
right,
start all over again.
right,
Or we end this completely. I can't be your friend no more. But I could be your business partner. I can't be your friend no more. I could be a lover though. It
right,
could be, it could be anything. Let's just, it's not as close minded as we think it is.
right. And you all guys also have to remember that how you find closure and how you want to handle the relationship afterwards is up to you. Whatever you think will make you be at peace with what just happened, that is the way for you. That's your way of handling it. Obviously, everybody's different. Not everybody's gonna handle it the same way. Sometimes you don't want to get closure. Like, no, I don't want to talk to a person. I'm fine the way that it is, the way that it ended, and I'm good and I'm dandy with it, and goodbye. But then there's some ways sometimes that you don't know how to find the closure. You don't know what's missing to make it be like, okay, this is the end of this chapter, I am good with this. Sometimes you just sit there and like, how the fuck am I gonna end it? How am I gonna feel like I find my answers to what I needed, as to like, why didn't you try hard enough? Was I not good enough? You didn't care what was going on in your end? What happened? Sometimes you do have all these questions that you're like, what? Why?
That you can't end it at all, but you're too afraid to tell the person and have that discussion of, I can't end this, but I understand it needs to end. Could we talk about it one more time?
No, that is true. And again, it is up to for oneself to find out what is going to work for us or not. I did find 4 ways to get emotional closure in a relationship by yourself if you choose to do that. Hey, some people want to do it by themselves. And if you think this is the route you want to go, I hope that what we're bringing to you right now will help. And if it doesn't, then hey, at least you gave it a try, right? 4 ways to get emotional closure in a relationship by yourself. One, realize that not everyone has a willingness to take responsibility for themselves. Often the other person doesn't have the capacity to have an objective conversation with you. Two, quit trying so hard and give it time. If someone is blaming and even vicious towards you, your attempts at fixing it by trying to change their mind is probably only fueling the flame. Three, maintaining your own integrity. You can grow to trust that who you are will shine through. Be mindful of your own integrity and don't be controlled by what the other is doing or saying. And the last one is making sure you're moving through your own feelings. Try to notice whether or not you're moving through all the emotions of loss, denial, anger, fear, sadness. But take time to grieve. I mean, for example, not too long ago, a week ago maybe, I had a certain person reach out to me, and things ended crappy, like shit. And in my mind, they felt that they said they felt the need to reach out to me. Okay, I understand that sometimes you want to reach out to a person you haven't spoken over 6 7 years. Okay, out of the blue, got it. But if you know how things ended, do you think that was the right move for you to make? Personally, I don't think so. I wouldn't want to hear from that person because in my mind, I haven't thought of you, heard of you, seen you, didn't even know, forgot you existed. But when I talk to that person again, the feelings that came about were anger because I'm like, we ended shit and that you think just you could come waltz in and just talk to me and be like everything's dandy. No, I didn't feel like I wanted to talk to that person. One, you don't have the right to ask me any questions. How's my life? Was if you're not in the know, then that's not my problem. That's how I felt. And another thing was, why out of the blue, and they're like, oh, I've been watching your show, no filters, no fears, blah blah blah. And I felt the need to, okay, thank you, I appreciate it. But at the same time, they felt like they're like, I didn't know that you had so much resentment towards me. I don't have resentment towards you. I mean, I felt like I didn't. It's just that you're not important in my life for you to occupy the space that you're holding right now. That's how I felt. Like you don't.
Wow.
But to me, I guess I never had that closure that I wanted when we were younger. So now you coming back and out of nowhere you're like, hey, what's up? I don't think that was right. In their mind, maybe that was their closure. Maybe that was their, like, I know we haven't spoken in a while, but hey, I
I
don't know.
get that when it comes to people, some people feel like maybe, let me let it ride for a while. Let me just give it some time.
Right.
Everyone is different. I get that. But put it this way, if I did something to you, you did something to me, I'm hoping we are human enough to just be like, yo, I need to talk to this person at least by the end of this week so that
Right.
this person understands I know what I did. I know what I did. I want to at least end this feeling.
Right.
It might not be I want to end this relationship. I want to end this feeling that I know may have bought you. What if it's anger? What if it's resentment? What if you hate me? What if it's that you never want to see me? What if it's that you made up your mind that, you block me from your phone? You ghost me. You may have your reason. Who am I to be like, oh man, wow, immature? No, you may have had your reason. I disrespected you. So, but before it leads to I can't find this person, I need to contact you, let you know, hey, let's talk about this today. I shouldn't have let it fester, but I don't want to be that person to make it fester so much so that 7 years went by, 8 years went by, 6 months went by. I
Right.
don't think, and to me, I don't think that's smart. You let a few months go by and this is you. I promise I'll explain. I promise. Like in your mind, it's like, I promise I'll explain it. I'll tell them, what it is about the situation that was messed up. I'll explain it. I'll apologize the right way.
I
A
don't know.
few weeks from now, a few months from now, a year or a few years from now, the person is going to look at you like this. Oh, so you are stupid. I see. You're stupid.
I'm the type of person that I say it. I'm feeling some type of way about something. I'm gonna say it right here, right now. Say it right there, and be like, I don't feel like this is working out because X, Y, and Z. And I let it all out on the table, and then I give you the options of what we could do to fix it, or hear your thoughts on how we could move forward and be better. But if I tell you all the things, basically walk you through it, and at the end you choose not to do something, then of course it's going to end up in the relationship ending. Again, guys, it doesn't matter if it's platonic, romantic, any type of relationship, you know the deal. But again, I don't know. I feel like I guess I communicate way too much apparently, where it just goes over the person's head. They're like, I don't understand. But I
But
don't know.
sometimes too, it's a matter of how well the person knows you.
True.
Because someone may have been with you for a few weeks, a few months, a year, and it's like, okay, if you've been with the person for a few years, you already know. Don't be stupid. Don't wait.
Right.
You got to tell them tonight, I messed up. Versus, or the person might be, you know what, let me give them a few days to calm down because I know they're mad. They're big mad.
Right.
Or they just need their distance. I can tell because they're answering with this way, that way. I know them. But if you know you don't know them that well, I would say let's be smart about it and not wait 7 years. Because if you wait 7 years, again, the person may not remember your face, your name. They don't even know how you know where they live
Right.
at this point. You get it? I don't even know why you have my phone number. I thought I blocked you. Like,
Right.
I'm just saying, like, if I blocked you and you have it, yo, you're nuts.
I feel
Like, go away.
I feel like there's some certain type of relationships, like those people that were acquaintances and then something went wrong or whatever, and they reach to you a couple of years later, sporadic at times, and you're like, why are you talking to me? I know that has happened to other to people where they just sporadically show up on your wherever, thinking that you're still friends, and I'm like, didn't you not remember what you did or what happened, or why we stopped being friends and why we stopped talking? Are you serious? Like,
Or didn't I have that serious conversation with you, but maybe it didn't register? Again, for the ones where the conversation does not register, it's, to me, it's sad because people think differently. If you know you didn't understand it last night, why don't you ask again the next night, and the next night? If
right.
it still does not register, and the person say, you know what, take me off your phone.
Right.
Maybe that's how clear people have to be in terms of ending something.
Right. Oh, trust me.
Because for me to look at you funny when I see you, when you're texting me, and I said, listen, I really don't know who this is. What? That, and you don't get a hint that something has ended, but you didn't know.
Right.
Ask, can we have a conversation before you pretend nothing has changed
Man,
when time has already gone by?
this has happened to me so many times. Do you remember the last conversation we had about a social media person that was messaging me?
Yes.
Okay. So, what in the world, right? Because I don't understand their logic and their thoughts on this, because it's been so long. I haven't seen you in forever. You message me on social media wanting some type of closure when you apparently have forgotten your own history of what happened between us. Yet you feel that it is okay to message me, to want to have some coffee, sit down. I don't even drink coffee. To go sit down and have a talk about what? what do you think can we possibly talk about that will make us even want, me, especially me, want to be friends with you? Not in hell would there be a chance. Like, come on, that was bizarre. Like, are you serious? Are you living in some delusional world where you think you didn't do anything wrong? Apparently. But again, they were they wanted closure. That's what was happening in that interaction. They wanted some type of closure. But to me, I didn't need that.
The thing that makes me feel, because this year a lot of things happened to me. There are things that for sure I would have wanted closure for. And yet time went by, you know, bit by bit. It's December now, and I'm like, I don't care. Don't text me. Don't call me. However, I'm like, well, if the person needs closure themselves, I'm here. I can't promise you the same space next year
Right.
because people try to move on. But it's weird when the person wants closure, they don't get it. But years later, or months later, or weeks later, you want closure and you don't get it. Why couldn't we give each other closure within the time spent? Is there a time limit? I don't know if there's a time limit. For me, if you come at me 7 years later, you're too late. Don't call me. I'm letting you know. If you did something and you call me 7 years later, don't call me. But if it's that weird, it's 2021, why not? You know, we said some things we shouldn't have said. We done some things we shouldn't have done. Or, oh my gosh, we haven't spoken in a while. I feel like, oh, it breaks my heart. Let's catch up. Let's, text me, call me,
You just
email me.
emails are
I
still.
know, I know it's weird, but whatever. Don't judge people. People email.
No, I email. But you just reminded me of something. I'm pretty sure you all have been through this as well. That out of random, a person is just sending you a message just to apologize. They do not want a reply back. They do not want anything back. It's just, hey, I know I was a very terrible person in the past. I have grown, blah blah blah. And letting you know that they feel sorry for the way that they treated you, and that they genuinely hope that you're okay. I've done that, and I have been done to me too. So when it comes to those messages of like they don't care if you reply or not, and you read and you're like, damn, you grew up. You look at it, and that was their closure. That was their, I did my piece. I let it go.
For me, I would say if you know you're going to contact someone 7 years, might as well do it that way. Start with that. If the person doesn't want to have a conversation with you, they could delete the whole thing and live on their lives. That's with
Right.
them. You wrote a letter to their address. They look at see who it's from, and they recall from the back of their mind, I do apologize, but you ain't in the front. If they recall from the back of their head and rip it, that's on them. It's not on you anymore. If
Right.
you don't get a response, if you don't get a text or a call, that is not your fault at that point anymore, because you were proactive. You took the time to say, you know what? I know what I did was wrong, man. I got to do something. And this is the best way I know how. You did it.
I
You
mean,
did all you could.
that's not necessarily bad. I think I find that to be therapeutic, and I find it, I mean, especially the relationship really didn't end shitty. It was just like, we weren't putting our time into it. I didn't feel like the friendship was getting anywhere, or the romantic relationship was getting anywhere, so it just faded. That type of thing. But hey, at least you're freaking talking, right? You're talking it out, you're saying your piece, you're doing your thing. Hopefully, to those people, they could live a better life, because some people let this in their mind dragging them for a while, forever, and then they
And
can't
it eats at them. Yeah.
they can't move on. They really can't, because they're stuck. So yeah. What is one thing in your life, you don't have to share if you don't want to, that you felt like you didn't get closure but you wanted closure, and it's like, damn, I'm never gonna get it because it's impossible because it's out of your hands, it's into the universe basically.
I would say there was a person that I suspected was a decent person. Seemed kind, nice, sweet. We ended, like everything about us ended. I kid you not, on my birthday month. I found that to be very interesting. Now, the only reason why I feel like closure is impossible, it's not even on that person's end, but myself. I don't care for closure. For me, I feel like I got my closure.
No, that's good.
You're an idiot. I'm sorry, but that's my piece. The person
No,
was an
I mean
idiot.
that's true.
But for me, it's like certain things does closure when you know you did something wrong, you disrespected someone or someone's, you did something you shouldn't have done, you messed with someone you shouldn't have messed with. And I don't mean that in a threatening way. I mean that in a nice way. Like I feel like, I'm trying to learn to be a good person out here, and yet you come in acting like a good person. Like that's, to me, is disgusting.
Right.
And all of a sudden it's like, oh, I know I didn't deserve that. I didn't do anything to you to deserve such a disgusting end. But at the same time, for me, closure is not needed, because the one closure that I can say I have is my freedom from that person. I breathe better every day knowing that I will not ever endure another person like that into my life. I can't say that I don't have closure, but in the terms of that person coming to me, explaining themselves, I kid you not, that's impossible. I
Right.
will not allow that. I do not want that. I do not, it will not serve me.
Right. Right. No, totally.
Now, there's a difference. If he, keep in mind, I'm just saying this year, because I don't got time for you next year, this year only. If he requires the closure, I am here. You can talk to me. I'm not going to say no to that. But when I'm good and done, because see, I'm good right now. I'm good. But I'm just saying, like, if you need a closure, you need a closure. I can help you. I got mine. It's just when it comes to closure, it's two coins, two sides. That person doesn't think they need the closure, but they will. Because what are they going to do? Stupid enough, they're going to contact you.
Right.
You contacted me for something. You don't even realize it's for closure. If I didn't contact you, you have to realize I did not want, need, or care for the closure. I got mine.
Right.
So for me, I'm never going to get closure simply because I feel like I rewarded myself with my own, which is the freedom to know I will never have something like that near me or beside me. Like that doesn't serve me anything.
Right.
And I won't, my eyes are clear now. I won't, that can't come next to me again.
Some,
That's just no.
sometimes it's just like therapy. Sometimes these are lessons learned, things that we now are like, throughout your whole entire life, you will acquire certain sets, certain tools, certain things that you will be using for the present and your future to be like, no, oh, what do you want in a friendship? This is that. Oh, you don't have it? Nope. Oh, for relationship? Oh, you don't have it? Oh, no. Job? Oh, then no. And you move on like that because you do not have time to waste on. We keep saying this whole thing about time, but we don't. It's
Well,
like,
it's like, what's the point of wasting your time on, excuse my language, but on garbage? Because that's what it is. It's garbage. It's trash. Life is short. Why should I have trash beside me? That stinks? No.
for me, it will have to be my mom when she passed away. I feel like we didn't get any closure of any sort of I feel like I didn't get to know who she was or if she was even happy. Like I just didn't get to nothing. She passed away, and then that's it. And it's like, okay, there's no answers. There's no nothing. That's it. There's nothing you can do about it, but you know, move on slowly, I guess, somehow. So yeah, to me that will be that will be it, at least in that way. But it's getting half of the show. I have other things to share with you all. So right here I have 5 ways to get closure in relationships, and I am assuming both. You could get relationships in all aspects.
I hope you guys remember that because it's not only romantic.
Right. Don't forget.
Romantic isn't the only kind. I'm just saying.
So as you guys know, on the little commercial we posted on our social media, we posted some questions as to, do we need closure? Is it important? Why do we need it? So I mean, some might be obvious and some might not be. So 5 ways to get closure in relationships. So it says, why would one need a closure in a relationships? Well, unanswered questions. We experience the turmoil when relationships have an abrupt end, or when we do not see it coming. Suddenly, our inferences of the relationship is past, and our plan of the future will seem meaningless. We look for answers that could give us insightful reasons of the dead end. One may still feel potential of getting back together, holding on to the past. We may continue to hold grudges, relive that past memories, and look at it as an event turning our life upside down. Closure irons the creases of negative feelings about the relationship person. Totally agree with that. Like I said, there's so many unanswered questions that you're like, I wanted to know. And then you see yourself not getting any answers because for instance, in my situation, they have passed away. They will never be an answer. Um so the way that this could happen is acceptance, acknowledgement, time to grieve. You build more memories. uh, Building memories, when we revisit the same place we went to with our exes, we get nostalgia from that. So, and the no blame guilt inducing act. So you do not attain closure when you play the blame game and make the other person feel guilty. So how do you accept responsibility for this? For example, in my situation will be, I didn't put enough time to the relationship with my mom. But this does not apply to every relationship that has ended, that you don't blame or guilt. If the person is freaking guilty because they're the ones that caused it and they're the problem, then I'm sorry, but they're the problem. If
Like,
you
for instance, some people hide information. Oh my
Right,
gosh, I'm a human being. I don't care what it is. Tell me so that I could get out.
right, exactly. So, but yeah, these were the couple of ways that you could get closure. Again, for me the most important is giving yourself your time to grieve. Yes, it may take forever, and but do it. For example, business partners, you or anybody, you end the relationship, you may not talk for a while like you used to. If you still friends, you will not talk for a while until everything has simmered down, and there's no, like, all that build up that was there, and then you get to talk again and be like, oh, how's everything, if you still are true friends and you still want to keep the relationship. At first you're not going to be talking to them because that happens with everybody. You're like, no, that's it. And then years later, months later, then you will start slowly communicating. I find that to be normal because it has happened too many times where you're like, oh, we could be friends, that's okay, hi, but sometimes it just doesn't work that way.
I don't know. To me, I feel like regardless if someone did something wrong or right, there is that space. If you know what type of person the person is, you would know that the closure would help in creating let's start again
Right.
type of scenario. You know what I mean? Because some people, even in romantic relationships where people don't understand, you messed up bad, but that doesn't mean the person's not going to look at you and say, I kept trying to tell you. We could just start again anew because something was weird. So take the opportunity or create an opportunity to start again. Even if the person's like, me, you, romantic? Nah, man, never. But at least take the friendship part.
No,
Take the
right.
friendship part, or if not friends, at least I won't look at you and say, yeah, we're strangers forever, for life. If you know you don't want to be a stranger to this person at all anymore, if you were, or you continue to be, you just, you know what? Let me get to know this person. There might be a potentiality for us to move forward, grow, get closer, understand each other's likes and dislikes. But if you're not with that, you're not with that. But closure could provide that also.
Right. I also feel like if you see the other person trying endlessly to be your friend again, and you are inclined to wanting to, but then afraid because you think it might end the same way, I understand that. But I mean, again, we're not therapists, just experienced a lot of stuff in our lives, but maybe give it a try. But if you see the same pattern since you already lived it, then obviously that's the last straw. Just if you feel so strongly that you know that there might be a possibility of change. Not saying that it could happen, but if you feel it and you're inclined to do so, maybe at least you could say that you gave it a try and
Yeah.
you did your best, but now it's just there's no more. That's it. This is just another dead end. So to move it along, since we're almost at the end of the show, we should read your quotey quotes.
My quotes.
Okay, so here we go.
All right. Forgiving people isn't always about giving them another chance. It's for closure so you can move on. Sonia Parker.
Sometimes about you, not about them.
Yeah. I mean,
We don't reach closure at the same time. So,
exactly. So whichever, again, it's a coin and the coin has two sides. The water probably touched one side, but it didn't touch the other side yet. So give it some time. Some of us choose to say goodbye to people in our lives because they become toxic to our growth, to our climb. Richard.
man, can we say that again? I'm sorry, but it's true. Sometimes you don't realize it yourself that somebody was holding you back the whole time, and because you wanted to be their friend or you wanted the friendship to stay there, the relationship, your potential was being stifled. I'm sorry. Been there, done
Oh
that.
my
Don't want to
gosh.
go
I
back.
think I had a situation where I really believed I can be friends with this individual. Like, you know how you like someone and then you're looking at the person like, despite the fact that I like you, yeah, you're not, no, I can't keep going this route with you. But I'm like, I like you enough to keep friends. Like, I like you enough for that. Oh my gosh, was that a waste of time?
And we learn the hard way, don't we?
Yeah. You weren't ready for the love I was to give. And I wasn't patient enough to teach you the lessons you needed to learn for yourself. Nathalie Murray. This is the relationship version because I'm pretty sure the closure concept, oh, the relationship, the romance.
I mean, sometimes people are not ready to learn. They're there for the ride, and then whatever happens, happens, and hey, and then they don't realize how they messed up too.
Even when it's a matter of, oh, I'm here for the ride, please respect the person
Right. Totally.
because we forget that the ride, this person is not a roller coaster ride that you paid and got your ticket and then it's done. This person is a human being with feelings. This person may be someone's mother, daughter, sister, or brother. But it's like that person is someone something before they met you, they knew you, even if it's in terms of romance, relationship, education, money wise, whatever the situation may be, the person was that before they met you. So now that they are in your circle or at least in your world, at least have the decency to treat them like a person while you guys are taking the journey.
Right.
So if you can't do that, then find people that are like yourself where you could treat like crap. I'm just saying. It's just a matter of we're people, not objects.
Right.
Don't treat me, if you don't want to be treated horribly or treated like you're less than, then don't treat the person that way. Wow, this was supposed to be about closure. Oh my God.
I mean, but that is, I mean, in reality, that's what closure is about in reality, because that's what causes relationships to break up, things to go wrong, and because of the way a person behaves. So in reality, it has all to do with it. You know, I behaved crappy towards you. I disrespected you multiple times. Blah blah blah. Didn't give you the respect you needed. It was about time you told me to go. You know, go to hell. And the relationship had to end. And in those cases, there's no closure needed. You know. But our final thoughts, man, just right on. You know. But before that, we chose the episode of closure, you know, to talk about it because, again, it is the end of the year. Yeah, it is the 29th of December, and this episode's out. You guys are watching it. The holidays just passed. You know, whoever celebrates Christmas, whoever, you know, and New Year's is coming up. It's literally coming up in like what, 2 3 days? Like right here, it's right there. It's so close. And we needed an end of the year, you know, episode. Closure is a perfect statement for that. And 2021, you know, I always say 23. I feel like we were already skipped 22.
Mhm.
I feel like this whole year has been an emotional roller coaster in a personal level, and for No Filters, No Fears. You guys have been there through a lot. You guys have seen a lot of changes happen. Um, you guys have asked a lot of questions, so please stay tuned. We do have a live coming up at the end of this week. And for all the questions you guys had, I collected them all and made sure that I'm going to answer each and every one of you. I'm hoping that, you know, Angel joins us. And if she doesn't, it's okay, you know, but still, you know, to end the year. But yes, it's been a roller coaster, and but thank you all for staying here, for still pushing through, giving us all the comments, likes, shares,
All the
thoughts,
love.
all the love. You know, we appreciate it. But to give us our final thoughts, Angel, do you have your final thoughts?
I would say that the closure episode to me was much needed on a personal note. Like you started off the year, it's like I started off the year was already starting off funny, weird. But then as the year went by, it got getting better. And then, wow, best. Like there's, I guess as it went down, you know, as it was going down and ending, I felt like it was sadly, but it was getting all beautiful. But whatever the case may have been for me, I feel like that all the experiences that I have experienced, all the things that I have endured, all the people that I have met, I want to at least say that in terms of closure, all the all the things that I have ended or that have ended abruptly, they did help me grow. They helped me become into a person that is more confident, more loving, more into the aspect of people. If I wasn't before, I am now because I value I value time a lot more, and I realize I do not want to waste time. If I had time before, I feel like I want to give that time to people who matter. I don't want to waste it on people who pretend that, oh, I want to spend time with you. And it's like, no, but I realize I don't want to spend time with you though.
Right.
I don't want to waste that anymore. So, closure, this episode was much needed. I felt like I needed that closure a long time ago. Like, I
Yeah.
needed this episode a long time ago. But this is the perfect time to have it because I'm pretty sure some of you want to vent about what the explanations you are warranted. Some of you wish that, oh, I deserve to know, you know, why was I fired? Why did I get sick? Why did the relationship between us have to end so bitter? Why is it that the year is ending and yet I still didn't get the answers that I needed for the simple questions that I had? You know, by all means, don't deny yourself to vent because you have family, you have friends, you have people that you can vent to. So do so. Make sure you do so. Make sure that you can have that conversation of closure, even if the person won't give you closure. You don't have to run to that person. Run to someone that you care about and say, yo, they didn't give me closure. That bastard had the nerve. Or that, oh, she had some nerve to treat me like this. But at least talk about it so that you can have some type of, I guess, freedom like I did, you know? Feel some type of, instead of whatever's weighing on you, let's work on it so that we could be
Yeah.
lighter.
And just remember, you have us too. You want to vent? Just do it.
Oh
We're
my
right
God.
there.
Just I want to, because sometimes you don't really need anyone to tell you anything. You just need to say something. You don't, it's okay. Say your piece, whatever it is.
Right.
I promise I won't say a word. You could just say whatever you need to say. I got it. I heard you.
Some people just need other people to hear them. We are not asking for advice. Some of us are not asking for anybody to fix the problem. We're just asking, do you have the capacity, the mental space right now to hold me right now? I want to vent the conversation. Are you going through something? No. Okay, I'll talk to you. No problem. Okay, thank you for listening though. I'll talk to you later. And then trying to find somebody that has the space for you to talk,
Yeah.
sometimes it's okay to go to the person you want to vent to, but sometimes if they can't, they have to let you know too. My final thought on this year, the episode, I cannot believe 2022 is coming. It's like right there. You're looking back and it's like, hi, waving at you. My final thought is that if you have gone or if you're going through some form of breakup, whatever that relationship is to you, be honest with yourself and give yourself all the options possible. Have you talked to the person? Can it be fixed? What can you do to make it better? Did the person say no? Did you get all your answers? Is there something missing? Is there a way for you to get that answer? And give yourself time to grieve if the relationship is not fixable. If you can't do anything about it, then give yourself time to grieve. Be angry, be sad, be happy, be whatever the case is. And then realize that there are so many possibilities of goodness that's coming out of this. Like Angel said, peace of mind, like their happiness. They never have to see that fucking person again. They
Yeah.
never have to see that person again. That is a form of closure. Hey, but make sure that you are being honest with yourself. And that's it. Just basically that. And this year it has taught me that I cannot be scared to do what I love. As you know, No filters, no fears. Have gone through a lot of personal changes and stuff, but it taught me that I could do it. I could do what I want to do, and I don't need anybody there to hold my hand. And I cannot let fear win. Basically, we cannot let fear win. And yes, you might be scared of doing something, but guess what? What you're doing is for yourself, and you love what you're doing, right? So why are you gonna let fear take that away from you? So here I am, episode 80, still doing this thing, still pushing through, and we still have five more months to achieve the goal of 100 episodes, and we're gonna make it. And that is my learning thing for this year, you know. And all we could do is hope for better next year, and all the good stuff that's happening, So I feel like we're saying goodbye, but we're not.
No, it's not a goodbye.
But you guys will see us on episode 81, but we will be taking a 2-week break. But we stay tuned. We will be here. We will be here after this episode. There's good stuff coming, okay? Okay.
And again, please, I know I say this every time you see me, reach out, talk to us, because there are people that have stuff that they want to say and they are not saying it. Keep in mind, this is no filters, no fears. There's no filter, no fear. Talk to us. What do you need? What do you want to know? What would you like to talk about?
No
Never
filters.
know. We may end up putting it on an episode. Think about it. Talk to us. So you have a safe place here with us.
Yes, no, for sure. I mean, we're open for everybody. Just come talk to us. I've seen every message you guys have sent, every time you guys have an input, and we appreciate it. But it is the end of the show. I know we can't. We gotta go. But again, episode 81. Stay tuned for that one. You might like it. New year, new stuff. But like we always say, stay fearless, everyone, and enjoy your New Year's.
Much love.